this is where we crashed. These are the survivors. We're all really extremely hungry right now. Probably going to start eating each other.
Stu's channel.
Greetings and welcome back once again to Stu's channel. It's been a while since I've been posting a video or two of something regarding what this channel does, which is airplanes and helicopters and all those other things that us RC people really love. Well, been doing a lot of traveling, as you might have guessed, but in front of me we have the Phonenix model Strega MK2. This is a beauty. It is beautiful. I'm going to do the unboxing. I'm going to show you some of the stats on the front so I don't have to answer a lot of questions later on. But there are the stats right there. You can pause and then take a look at this later. I am going to be putting an OS 95 AX with a tuned pipe on this, and I'm going to make it a haul. But before we get into all that, let's take a look at this beauty. Decals, not bad. Instructions, we'll go into that a bit. Yes, you'll notice I am going to be putting in a larger motor than what this calls for. So there's going to be a little bit of weight issue, but I intend to solve that. Just as long as I am within the weight requirements, I should be good to go. This is going to be one of those, you know, using your rudder on the takeoff to get yourself off the ground, because there's going to be a lot of torque on this thing. It is an ARF, obviously. It's a beauty. Beautiful. So I'll have to hinge my own, which is no big deal. We've all done this before. Let's get to the body of this. We can all kind of assume that this is all going to look great and wonderful. And it does look like every piece looks very solid. I will take a nice little iron run over the top of all this. So yes, this last trip, that was Jamaica. If you've seen my last video, you got to see that Captain Jack Sparrow, as we called him, on there. Kind of unfortunate. Yes, it's beautiful. Engine mount, front, very nice. Pilot looks good. Access point, beautiful. And coated. So she's a beauty. So the body itself, it's gorgeous. It really is. The job on this is done quite well. And I will clean it up additionally with an iron, just a bit, just to tighten everything up. But you can tell this is a very nice plane. I bought this plane for $145 for this kit. That, in my opinion, granted, I don't have servos and all of that included within the kit, but I do have the spinner, I have the gear, I have all the gear. The gas tank is included. More of the firewall, the insets for the gear if you want to put, you know, your retracts in, which I am going to do. The front of here's the cowl itself. The cowl is glass. And of course, glass always looks amazing. Glass. Beautiful. I'll go through the assembly on this one just for fun, because I'm going to be going off the rails on a crazy train. No, I'm going to be going off of the instructions just as a guide because I'm putting in something completely overpowered for this particular plane. For the money, it's a steal in my opinion. Some other people might not feel that way. Me, I think it's great. And I plan on entering this into a pylon race. The crazy part is that the 3.5 almost seems like it's too hot. I'm going to back this down to about 3 to see what happens. I may even get the heat gun on here. It's cleaning up. The gun seems to be working pretty good. Alright, you should be able to see these wrinkles that are at the end. As I've discovered, the heat gun works a whole lot better than the iron. Flawless. Beautiful. Alright, so greetings. I have done a few things here, like assemble my servos. But you're going to come across these things. These are all one complete, these are the wheel wells. They're all one complete piece when you first start. And what I did was I basically took my my razor and dragged it on the corners. Just dragged it on there to make a line, a little indentation, and then went across it again, and then went ahead and made the cut across this all the way around. Then I came back, because you're gonna have some rough edges. Put this on my Dremel, cleaned up all of the edges with this disc. It left a little white around here. I painted it. So it came out, both of these came out beautifully. They are clean, clean, clean. Now I'm going to proceed on with the rest. When you're doing your hinges, you know, your CA hinges, as you'll see the CA hinges in here. Where is it? There it is. Somewhere down in there, down in here. CA hinge down in here. Hinge, hinge, hinge. Make sure that your spacing on either side is equal. And another thing I did was I used the width of my razor on each end. Made it so that this was exactly the same as this. Pushed it all into place. I did not use a pin. Some of these instructions will ask you to stick a pin through to keep this CA hinge from moving around. These are in really nice and tight. They're good to go. So just make sure that your spacing along this line is equal from the end to the end, and that your spacing from here to here are also equal. And then we're going to go on from there. What I'm doing for the covers and these servos, on the back side, you're going to discover that there are pre-drill holes on the back side of the cover itself. There are no holes here. What I'm using is a pin drill. You can get something like this. You can even take a little drill that's this big, put a piece of tape on it, and use your fingers to do it. But I've marked from the back side, I've pushed up through the holes to show me where the holes are on the outside of the coating, so that I know where to drill. So at this point, make my holes.
You don't want to push too hard because you don't want this drill going through the other end of the wing. And there's the hole. What's the hole for? Well, it's for the screws. I'm going to condition these a bit. Don't put your cover on immediately after doing that for obvious reasons. Don't do it. Okay, on this next section, yeah, for people that are relatively new to this, this is going to be intimidating a little bit for you. But don't let this scare you, because I'm going to show you. Do you see how much extra you have to cover up your mistakes? But covering up the mistakes is not what we're going to do. What we want is we want to open this thing up in a way that allows us to have a lip of this coating to seal onto the inner portions of this. The reason we want that is we want this coating to have something to bind to. So if you have to fix a bubble, it's not pulling this out of there. It's not creating a big space. So we're going to go into this right here. You can feel where it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave myself a nice, healthy portion. It's easier if you give it some tension. Okay, so I got this little tool. I won this at a Pylon race here locally, and it was used, and I didn't care. It's technically part of a lottery. I got this and some other little nice tools that I didn't have before. Create a little lip so it's even. Alright, once you've got this piece cut out like you want, don't forget to cut out the end. I didn't paint this side because it's going to be covered up with the wheel itself. You'll see how nice it fits in. Excuse me. There's all of the prepared portion that I did. This is what this looks like inside. And then now we're going to go and assemble a wheel and just do a little check.
Stu's channel.